one of many piers in Boston Harbor. It happens to be the pier where the boat which Srila Prabhupada was on docked in Boston. And as I say, this is not a professional, anything's not very necessary systematically. Something is there, but and pictures are just whatever I gathered. I put it together a bit last night, so it's something. At least we hope to have something to share today. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamitina Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamitina Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prasad Nirvasesha Sanyavadi Asacharya Sattva Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prasarine Nirvasesha Sanyavadi Asacharya Sattva Sri Hare Krishna. Your permission. Your kind blessings. We'll try to share something. Try to remember our indebtedness to Srila Prabhupada and all of our acharyas. We're going back to now Thursday. Is it on the screen? It says Thursday. I should have set this up much better. I just cut off where I did. I just really start. Thursday, 16th of September, 1965. Srila Prabhupada is on board the ship Jaladita. They're approaching Boston. One day before docking in Boston, Srila Prabhupada entered. He had a diary, as many of you know, called the Jaladutta Diary. At least that's what it is now termed. It wasn't that Prabhupada wrote on the diary Jaladutta Diary. But it was primarily the diary which Prabhupada kept when he was on the Jaladutta. So this is, I think, the second but last entry in that diary. He had another diary which was called The Beginning. It is called The Beginning of Prabhupada's mission in America. That diary is not so well known. It is available now. This diary had been left behind by Srila Prabhupada in New York when he, wherever he went, in his trunk. And it was all, I don't know if anyone else knew about his existence. One devotee had, some or other, taken that diary into his custody and had not revealed it to the world in general until, I don't know how long ago, maybe 15 years ago. Not so long ago. So for decades this diary was, even if knowledge of its existence was there, knowledge of its whereabouts was not there. Anyway, eventually that devotee revealed the diary, Prabhupada's handwritten diary, which is now called the Beginning, which records some of Prabhupada's preaching pastimes during the first 9 months of his being in America. Not much, 1 or 2 entries after that, but hardly any. Up to the beginning of July. After that, nothing really recorded. Up to basically the incorporation of this stuff, so maybe 10 months. So anyway, we're not going to go much there today. We're going to stick with Boston. Prabhupada arrival in Boston. So today is the 35th day of our journey. Some of you complain when you have a 4-hour drive to reach New Mayapur. Isn't it? Oh my, you must be still shaking from your journey from London to here on the bus. Right? What an ordeal. And don't worry, you've got another one going back. Something to look forward to. And Prabhupada wasn't on a bus, on a boat. So it appears here it's the 36th day, that's 5 weeks, just over 5 weeks on the boat. And of course the pure devotee is never alone, but from a material perspective he was alone. He didn't have anyone. The captain was a nice man, Captain Pandya, but he wasn't a, not like with a practicing Vaishnava lifestyle exactly, although devotee in his own way. Not something. Prabhupada did spend time talking to him, he did spend time preaching to other members of the crew, no doubt. But primarily as, Gaudiya, Vaishnava, Acharya in his case, pure devotee, no one directly to associate with on the boat. The association was largely internal. Prabhupada said, I never forgot my spiritual master for a moment. He was always meditating upon his instruction. The instruction of the spiritual master is our life and soul. That was the impetus for this movement, based upon Srila Prabhupada's accepting Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj's instructions as his life and soul. Is the basic principle, isn't it, of spiritual life, as explained in the prayers we say in the morning, or the commentaries, Vishnu Chakravarti, etc., which inspired Srila Prabhupada, gave him that conviction, or ever renewed conviction to push forward. So today is the 35th day of our journey, and yesterday night at about 10:30 p.m. we have turned one wheel, question mark, moved around both turn direction, towards northeastern corner from the Bermuda latitude towards Boston Port. So you can probably understand that Prabhupada was discussing with the captain. It's unlikely that Srila Prabhupada himself was a nautical navigator. Although he is in the real sense of the term, but not in terms of the terminology which is used. Bermuda latitude. The first officer told me that they never had such experience of the Atlantic Ocean. And he ascribed the good luck to me. Prabhupada was on the boat. He said that never in his life has he seen such a peaceful crossing over the Atlantic. There are other stories in relationship to that, but we're not going to go there either. I said, yes, it is all Lord Krishna's grace, because due to my severe type of seasickness, he has himself taken charge of the ship. In expansion, the Lord is rowing the oars. We shall certainly reach to America port safely. There's a few you could say, good pointers there. Krishna rowing the oars or rowing our boat, captain of our ship, you will definitely reach the safe shore. America was not our goal, but whatever our goal is, if Krishna is rowing the boat, he is in one sense, but if we recognize that and we cooperate with that, how do we cooperate? We receive the instructions of the spiritual master as our life and soul, and we will reach the far shore. The whole day was clear sunshine, but at 4 p.m. the sky all of a sudden became foggy. Sometimes in our lives, sometimes it becomes a little foggy. The sun became dim, covered by foggy weather. The horizon is still visible. Let us see what is still ahead. The ship is stopped completely at about 6 p.m. It was still on the 17th, the 16th, rather, on account of dense fog. Be Lord Krishna pleased to get out of this fog. By the grace of Lord Krishna, the fog was cleared. After 2 to 3 hours, and the ship started. The whole night was non-disturbing. And now we're the night of the 36th. And today, on the 36th day of our journey, we reached safely to Boston Port at 5:30 a.m. So the boat docked at 5:30 a.m. on the 17th of September. Early morning. It's not a picture of the boat. There's even discussion on which the actual boat, there are two schools of thought, which Jaladuta it was. When we normally see it now, there's another one which historically was the actual one, according to evidence, anyway, whatever it was. This is not the Jaladuta, don't worry. But that is, if you can see it, maybe it's a little clear or unclear, I don't know. Can you see anything? It's not a very good slide. Is it visible or not?
Yes.
Otherwise you can shut
Nice.
a few windows or something, but you probably leave them open.
That's good.
That is it doesn't look like very impressive. It doesn't look like anything much, really. It's the Commonwealth Pier. A long building, which is what it is. Commonwealth Pier. So Prabhupada boat docked there. We are now on the dockyard at Boston, and at 10 a.m. the customs officers and others came on the ship. They have now issued the admittance permission after due checking, etc. So Prabhupada's on the boat. The customs officers come on and they do the checking on the ship. And then Prabhupada said, I saw the Boston town with captain. It is very nice, and I should describe it in a separate note. 36th day from starting from Calcutta Port today. And this is, well, you can interpret it as you like, but it just seems to go backwards. Today we are expected to reach Boston Port in the morning. It seems that little note is kind of from the day before, but it appears on this day. We stayed the whole night and day and night rather, at Boston, the whole day of the 17th, and till the 4 p.m. on the 18th, Prabhupada was in Boston Harbor. 1.5 days. They have a sign there, and there's a sign, Commonwealth Pier. I went there, on this particular day, the devotees in Boston, they have a special, program on this day. They rent a boat, and, they go around the harbor. Whoever's there, 100, 200 devotees on board the boat, and they, talk about Prabhupada's arrival, and read, and chant, and feast. And we come to the Commonwealth Pier, and there they do Arti, Pushpanjali. It's a holy place. It's the very first place that Prabhupada's feet touched American soil. He did, yeah. The first time Prabhupada stepped on American soil, that's on this pier, Commonwealth Pier. And he brought the real wealth. That's a very poor slide. I just took them from the internet, so very few pictures. The one in the middle is not the Commonwealth Pier, it's the one on the right. The one in the middle was the biggest fish pier in America, maybe in the, I don't know about the world, but certainly in America. It's a fish pier, fishing. Well, Prabhupada also could be seen as a fisher of man, as they say in the Bible. And the boat which he was on, by the name itself, was almost prophetic. Huh? Jaladuta is a very prophetic name. What does it mean?
Water messenger.
Yeah, the messenger of the ocean or the water. The messenger of the ocean. Or you could say the messenger across the ocean. It's a very relevant name, the boat. That's the front entrance of the Commonwealth Pier, at least it was. And there's a view from the Commonwealth Pier of Boston skyline. Perhaps what Prabhupada saw, more or less, when he arrived. He says he saw the skyline. When I first came, I had no money. So I got a free passage through some Indian steam navigation company. So I came by ship. So when I was on the ship at Boston Port, Commonwealth Port, I was thinking, I have come here. I do not know what is the purpose. Because how the people will accept this movement. They are differently educated. And as soon as I will say, so my dear sir, you have to give up meat eating. Give up illicit sex. No intoxication and gambling. They will say, please go home. So I was thinking that I will propose something which is impossible. Anyway, let me try. Prabhupada thought his God brothers have been to Europe. They achieve something, but not very much. So if I go there, I'm going to have to do something. Otherwise, it's like that's maybe, I don't know, my coming here to France or something, If I went to England or some other place, well, what are you doing, Come to France, you get praised. A little tiny little bit of service trying to render. They say that in a desert, a castor oil plant is very big. So perhaps let me try. I will go to America. No one has been there. Like chasing a rhino, Prabhupada used this term sometimes. Chasing rhinos. You've seen the books? How many of you have read those books? Chasing rhinos. Not many. Very exciting, right? Yeah. Oh gosh, not again. What's happening?
Testing.
Turn off the electricity. This is twice this morning, that's unusual. Yes, because of too much cooking. Too much cooking. You're eating too much. Put everyone on a raw diet will have no problem. Yeah. Chasing rhinos. Well, we do have one set on the book.
Chasing the rhinos, c'est un livre que je suis aussi
Cycling.
on a un set aussi.
They say there's not one in the temple room, huh? Well, that's good news. Everyone should come in the temple room. At least it's more tolerable in here. So, Prabhupada used this example of chase. Nobody expects you to catch a rhino. So if you don't catch the rhino, no one's going to criticize you. And if you catch a rhino, everyone's saying, "Oh, wow, how did you do that?" So it's a win-win situation, huh? Of course, this is transcendental arrangement here, but still, Prabhupada thought well. Prabhupada said that when he was in a lecture in Atlanta in 75. This Prabhupada walking on the bus on the Commonwealth Pier. He visited the Commonwealth Pier again, I think in 68 or something. And he went for a walk around that area where he landed, you know, look at it again. 2 or 3 years later. These pictures are from that time. Hari Story Prabhu, talking to Prabhupada. If you were only sponsored for 1 month, how is it that you were able to extend your visa all the time? Prabhupada, I was extending. The immigration officer came in Boston in my boat. He inquired about this, so he asked me, "Sir, Swamiji, how long you want to stay?" So I thought, I have no shelter, I have no money. But I have got the return ticket. So I did not know how long. Prabhupada started laughing. He asked me, "How long you want to stay?" So I thought, in these circumstances, I can stay at most 2 months. Because I have no means where to stay, how to eat, where shall I go? You know, Prabhupada didn't, he was thinking, will they have anything to eat in America? What do they eat? Burgers? Burgers? What else do they eat? Prabhupada bought a big bag of, what was it? Huh? Oats or something like that, maybe flat rice, I don't know, a big bag of something from India with it. Oats were not very common in India. Potato. Big bag of cereal with it. So I may struggle for 2 months. He immediately sanctioned 2 months. I could not think that I should be able to, and started laughing. He never thought. So it was just totally depending on Krishna. That 1 month, we're there sponsoring. So I thought, another 1 month, that's all. This gentleman has sponsored 1 month, so that is guaranteed. Then I can stay another month, that's all. So after that, I was staying here and there without any fixity. So I was extending the visa. Each time, I was paying $10. Another 3 months. Another 3 months, like that. 1 year was finished, they refused. No extension. That was Prabhupada's first year. Then he went to Canada. So we're going to sing now. One thing, to me, the most significant thing, it may be different for different devotees, but for me, the thing that stands out most about Prabhupada's short stay on Boston Harbor was his first written document in the Western world. The very first thing which he wrote. And as you can see, it's called Markine, Bhagavat, Dharma. Many of you are familiar with this. This was written in the morning of September the 18th, 1965, on board the ship. Alone in his cabin. No one on the planet knew what was going on. Nobody cared, practically. Nobody was there with Prabhupada. Unrecorded in world news. But the most significant event that's ever practically taken place since goodness knows when has taken place. That Prabhupada has arrived in Boston to carry the greatest message of all, to distribute this message on behalf of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Acharyas to everyone. So what does this mean, Markine Bhagavat Dharma? We need a harmonium in there. What does it mean? Markine Bhagavat Dharma. You probably know what Bhagavat Dharma means, isn't it? What is Bhagavat Dharma?
Like devotional.
Or we could say simply Krishna consciousness. That is the real Bhagavat Dharma. Service the Supreme Lord of the devotees. Markine. In this case, Bhagavat Dharma is referring to preaching the message of Bhagavan in America. The Bhagavat title, Preaching Krishna Consciousness in America. Of course, that goes beyond the shores of America, goes to the whole world, maybe beyond the world in here. Preaching Krishna Consciousness. And we're often talking about constitution for ISKCON. We have the incorporation document, which is guidelines. But the constitution, I'm not much into all these things. For me, this is the constitution document in of itself. It says everything. Everything that's really needed to say. This movement is not running on rules and regulations. It's not running on institutional frameworks. These things are utilized. They may be necessary at different stages. But what really counts, what's that saying they have? The spirit of the law? Do you remember that saying, English saying?
The letter of the
Pardon?
law. Oh. Yeah, the letter of the law.
The letter of the law and
The spirit of the law.
the spirit of the law outweighs the letter of the law. So what does that mean? The intention? The intention behind it. The life, the spirit, the purpose, the mission, I don't know, all the ways we could look at it. And not just the framework. The life of building is useless unless there's some reasonable usage for it, some purpose. That means life. Some people are completely addicted to the letter of the law. Maybe at certain stages, that's if the law is correct, that can be very necessarily helpful. But it's not in of itself the goal. Wants to find out what the purpose is within. You could apply that to many things, practically everything really. What is it really for? What is the purpose of the law? What is the purpose of a structure? What is the purpose of an institution? That should be emphasized and arranged to focus on the purpose. We're going to sing this song and then go through it a little bit, if time allows. And Madhya, there. It might take a little while to get warmed up, so you can wait for one stanza or two. If you start off on the wrong note, it's difficult to get back onto the right one.
Can you tell us the translation before we sing, so we know what we're talking about?
Okay, we can do it. That's good. I do that sometimes, and sometimes not. This particularly was a quick presentation, quick put together, so it's the other way around in this. So we're going to go through the translation first, so we have an idea of what we're singing, or trying to sing. I didn't translate the last part, the Hare Krishna. I hope you know what it means.
The Spirit of the Lord.
So you can imagine, Srila Prabhupada is alone. He's got the most momentous task you can imagine ahead of him. The greatest opportunity, risk, challenge, call it what you may. And this still is there for all of us. This opportunity to take that step. I think Vaisheshika Prabhu often uses this, isn't it? What's he saying? It's something to do with the Jaladuta, isn't it? Get on your Jaladuta or something and go out there. We're going to be, hopefully, if I don't know what's happening with the weather this afternoon, but if all's well, we're going to the local city of Tours for Sankirtan. And some of you may be joining us. Hands up, anyone who's joining us this afternoon. Is it all being organized? Transport, instruments, I'm not my job. I hope someone's organizing everything. We should be ready at 2:30 with all the vehicles there at 2:30. Not start thinking about it at 2:30. Where are the books? Oh, I forgot to bring them. Where's the cartel? Well, I've got one pair. Who bought the sound system? Oh, I gave it to so-and-so. Where are they? I don't know. They never came. Where do we go? Nobody knows what's happening around here. Nothing absolutely uncommon. We do, fingers crossed. It's okay when there's only 8 of us, but there's going to be at least 80 by the sounds of it. Is that right? Somebody at least has to be there. Someone's going to say, well, there's no vehicles. Where are we going to go? Somebody has to be there to talk to and answer what we are going to do. A bus is coming, is that right?
Yeah, London bus is going. London bus is going. Yeah.
London bus, we have a London bus. We're not going to London, we're in France. What's the London bus doing
We
here?
brought one with us. We brought one with us from London.
You brought it from London?
We brought it from London to here.
Oh, very good.
It's parked there in the car park.
Not a long way. So we have one bus. How many people? I don't know.
50.
How many?
50.
50. That's a good start. Anyway, we hope that there'll be enough cars. If you've got a car, if you happen to come by car, and you're coming on hire now, it would be nice if you could turn up before 2:30 with your car outside the front of the castle. We are bringing books. You don't need to bring books. Some of you would like to, who would like to distribute books? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my goodness, we're going to have more on books than we are on Harry now. It doesn't include our own local Sankirtan party. So. Okay, well, we're not on Oxford Street, by the way. Anyway, you can interchange if you want between Harinam and book distribution as you feel inspired. It is Saturday, it's quite busy if the weather allows. Not a bad place. Let's see. So we'll sort that out. We'll have the books with us. We'll talk about that later when we're on the spot. Okay, so 2:30 we leave, is that right? We'd like to leave at 2:30, not start getting ready to leave. Oh, I just got to put my dhoti on. I've got my kilak. Oh, someone's pinched my shoes. Oh, I got to go to the toilet. That was too much lunch again today. Try to be ready, please, on time. So we'll read the translation. And this is the mood of Srila Prabhupada. The mission is based, foundational mood. Not about doing things. It's the attitude Prabhupada says that we do things. Everything rests on our attitude. Not upon our knowledge. That can be utilized, it's necessarily utilized. Not upon our karma. Use it, no problem. Not upon the abilities given to us by the Lord. No problem, use them. But it's really based upon our attitude. And we can see in this prayer, this song of Srila Prabhupada, poem, prayer, call it what you will. Srila Prabhupada is revealing the real inner heart attitude of a Vaishnava. My dear Lord Krishna, you are so kind upon this useless soul. One of the reasons I do it the other way around is because once we're in the rhythm, we have a little tiny musical background behind the reading. But our musician is very busy on WhatsApp. My dear Lord Krishna, you can light a very gentle drone, not too loud. My dear Lord Krishna, you are so kind upon this useless soul. But I do not know why you have brought me here. Now you can do whatever you like with it. But I guess you have some business here. Otherwise, why would you bring me to this terrible place? Prabhupada's talking about America. This terrible place. Most Indian people dream of the time they can get the green card. They do anything to get the green card. And most American people will do anything to get a green card. You know what a green card is? What is it? The American visa, long-term visa. You can get eventually citizenship. Dream come true. Brother say this terrible place. Most of the population here is covered by the material modes of ignorance and passion. Absorbed in material life, they think themselves very happy and satisfied. And therefore they have no taste for the transcendental message of Bhagavat. As long as we've got a taste for the material sense purification, we can never have a real taste for Krishna consciousness. We don't really understand it. You may learn things, but we haven't really understood what it is. I do not know how they will be able to understand it. But I know your causeless mercy that makes everything possible. I need a button presser. Because you are the most expert mystic. How will they understand the mellows of devotional service? O Lord, I'm simply praying for your mercy, that I will be able to convince them about your message. All living entities have come under the control of the illusory energy by your will. And therefore, if you like, by your will, they can also be released from the clutches of illusion. All these verses, you could say, could be expanded, explained. In this one particularly, how is it that all living entities are under illusion by the will of the Lord? Does he want us to be an illusion? Is it random? Does he just like grab a whole bunch of jivas, throw them under the influence of Maya? Hard luck, Joe. You were standing in the wrong place when I put my hand there. Do your best. What does it mean? Yes.
Because we want to enjoy separately from the Lord, so we give us the opportunity.
You want to what?
Because we want to enjoy separately, we give us the opportunity.
We want
Yes.
to enjoy separately
Yes.
from him. Those who are parents sometimes experience that with your child. Despite the fact you advise them, no, don't do it. You don't need that. They insist, but they can't get it unless you provide it. Right? They want some toy in the window, another useless toy. They insist. Okay, if you really insist. Okay, there you go. So they can't buy it on their own. Krishna, Prabhupada writes, he said, Krishna has created this material universe because of us, because of our desires. It has no reason for being otherwise. Simply because of our desire. So he's basically reciprocating. As they surrender to me, I reward them accordingly. So he's reciprocating according to our desire. We cannot fulfill our desire. Everything belongs to Krishna. If you want to enjoy that which belongs to Krishna, only by Krishna's grace, he gives us a chance. So his will has to be there also. And how will we get out of this world? We can make a rocket. I think they're making nice rockets now. Maybe you can, I don't know if in France they have a rocket which gets us out of the material world. They do. Can you fly out of the material world? It's only by the mercy of Krishna. Even the Mayavadis, they also realize this is an illusion. They want to bring it to an end. But only by the grace of Krishna will that happen. But we have to make our effort. It's not random either. We have to get it. We have to evoke His mercy to release us from our mother. And then Prabhupada says, very significant, I wish that you may deliver them. The desire of pure devotee is very powerful. I wish that you may. Not that I wish that you may deliver them. He's appealing to the Lord. Please deliver them, my Lord. There's a beautiful purport. It's in the pastime of Shivananda Sain and his dog. You know that very well. Prabhupada is talking about how that dog went back to Godhead because because Shivananda Sain accepted that dog. He took shelter of Shivananda Sain. He was a pure devotee of the Lord. And Prabhupada writes that dog, because he took shelter of pure devotee, was eligible to go back to God. The grace of Lord Chaitanya. Prabhupada writes that he hopes that all of his disciples become pure devotees of the Lord. It was the desire of Shivananda saying that that dog be delivered. Prabhupada said, if all my disciples become pure devotees, by their desire alone, all the living entities can go back to Godhead, even without their knowledge. We don't know what's going on. Vasudeva Datta, Haridas Thakur delivered the whole universe. It doesn't look like it. But what do we see? We just see a bunch of flesh and skin. We can't see the movement of the soul at all. Lord Chaitanya said, even if they all go back to Godhead, you won't notice anything. The whole universe will be filled up again. There are countless living entities, dormant, about to, enter into a body. It will be filled up again. You won't see any change. Externally. If one mustard seed lost out of a bag of mustard, you don't notice any difference. The universe is nothing. We're seeing it so big. Not even one mustard in a mustard bag. Pure devotee, way above our relative perception. Therefore, if you so desire their deliverance, then only will they be able to understand your message. Now here's another significant fact. Something related there. Krishna can do anything, even as he likes. But this is the normal situation. Understanding a message. Next line, come on, next line. Keep on singing. Difficult when you sing it. Nice to sing. When I understand the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities in this world, what happens to them? Pardon? Don't take birth again. Attain my abode. Huh? Back to Godhead. That's for a change of heart. Whatever causes it, Krishna can make it happen immediately if so. He can do anything. This is the usual process. We have to desire the change of heart. To hear, as we've been hearing, subject matter, we have to take up that issue. The process, pleasure. This is the process. How to understand this message of Bhagavat. The words of Srimad Bhagavatam are your incarnation. And if a sober person repeatedly receives it with submissive oral reception, repeatedly receives it with submissive oral reception, then you will be able to understand your message. Hearing regularly, we heard the verse maybe this morning. Nishta Prayeshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Anishute Bhakti Bhavati Naishti. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire from material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee, who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering a service to pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable plan. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the plan, the effects of nature's modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Thus, the devotee is established in goodness, and he becomes completely happy. Thus established in a mode of unalloyed goodness, the man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional services of the Lord gains positive, scientific knowledge of the personality of God. In the stage of liberation from all material association, thus the knot in the heart is pierced, and all misgivings are cut to pieces. of actions is terminated. Woman sees the self as master. Some translations it's the big S, referring to the Supreme Lord. Some it's the small. It could be either. When we understand that the soul is above this material energy, above the mind, above the intellect, above the body. Could you sing like that? He will become liberated from the influence of the modes of ignorance and passion. And thus all inauspicious things accumulated in the core of the heart will disappear. How will I make them understand this message of Krishna consciousness? Not that he comes with some kind of, structural formula. It is depending on the mercy of Krishna to guide him to fulfill this mission. I am very unfortunate, unqualified, and most full. I am seeking your benediction that I can convince them. For I am powerless to do so on my own. Somehow or another, O Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me a success or a failure as you like. O spiritual master of all the worlds, I can simply repeat your message. So if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. Only by your causeless mercy will my words become pure. I'm sure that when this transcendental message penetrates their hearts, they will definitely feel engladdened and thus become liberated of all unhappy conditions. Oh Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance. Make me dance, O Lord. Make me dance as you like. Puppet. Puppet in the Lord's hands. I have no devotion. Nor do I have any knowledge. But I have strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. I've been designated as Bhakti Vedanta. And now, if you like, you can fulfill the real purport of Bhakti Vedanta. Signed, the most unfortunate, insignificant beggar. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, on board the ship Jaladhuri, Commonwealth Theatre, Boston, Massachusetts, USA, 18th of September 1960. And then we go back to the beginning of this song. You play the harmonium. Paro Kripa Kohile Krishna Padame Pati Paro Kripa Kohile Krishna Ilagia ileta kora emegati
Viva Oro Bravo
Udra
Rantaraj, not quite finished, almost. Rantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki and these to the picture, of course, of the original Srimad Bhagavatam, printed in India before Srila Prabhupada. Journey to America. Of course, covers were put on these books. You've seen a beautiful cover of the universe. Alone Prabhupada went. We sometimes say that Srila Prabhupada, what did he do? He went to America. What did he have with him? How many? 300 sets. 3 volume sets. 200 sets. They were trunks loaded on board in Cochin Road, dock next way to Boston. He also had with him a brochure. Now Prabhupada said, when he was said, Srila Prabhupada, you went to America with the Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada said, no, I didn't. He said, Srimad Bhagavatam went to America and took me with him. Boy doesn't think that they're being taken by Krishna. That's the way to do it. For the Western world, it's quite antique printing. Have you ever seen them or tried to read them? The English is quite broken. Sometimes difficult for people to follow unless they're a little bit familiar, more familiar than usually, I'd say, with English language. Though it's hard to follow and takes a lot of effort. And we know in the Srimad Bhagavatam, was in the 5th chapter, I can't remember the verse. It's a famous verse, someone can find it, even if imperfectly composed. How's it go? Somebody very loud and clear, please. Tadbhag Vishargo
Yasmin Prati Shlokam Abhadya Vattati Namne Anantasya Yasho Aniktaniya
And what is the translation?
Even though it's imperfectly composed, those who are intelligent, they will accept it wholeheartedly. And it will bring about a revolution in consciousness.
Someone can just get the verse, when we move on to the next point, we'll read the clear verse. A very significant verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, to such an extent that Prabhupada includes it at the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam. We've already read the translation to these verses which we tried to study. Whilst we're waiting, we'll just read 1 or 2 more things. This is a question asked by Pradyumna, Prabhupada's Sanskrit editor. What if people don't want to hear a message through Prabhupada? Prabhupada said the people might not understand their message, but Krishna will be pleased. Krishna will be pleased. Now listen carefully, this is an important point. The people may not understand their message, but Krishna will be pleased. And that is our mission. What is our mission?
To share their knowledge.
Pardon?
Please Krishna.
Preach Krishna consciousness.
To please Krishna. That's our mission. We may say our mission is this and that, but the actual mission is to please Krishna. That is our mission. We must not be disappointed that no one is hearing Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada says. He said this in Boston when he was at the Commonwealth Theatre. Not when he visited again. We will say it to the moon and the stars and all directions. We will cry in the wilderness. Because Krishna is everywhere. We want to get a certificate on Krishna. We want to get a certificate from Krishna, not a master's degree like many of you may have or aspire for. We want a servant's degree, not a master's degree. wrote on a certificate to Krishna, this man has done something for me. Not popularity. If a pack of asses say you are good, what is that? We have to face Krishna's senses with purified senses. Prabhupada took other thing or other came with him on the boat to Boston. There was one brochure, a small brochure. You can see it. It's from maybe a few places. I don't know if it's in London, but in Vrindavan. You can see a copy of this little brochure that Prabhupada took with him. I believe it was printed. Mr. Choksi, Samadhi Maharaja's secretary, of course on the request of Prabhupada, printed it in Boston before he left. That was also taken on board the ship to America, and this is the front of that. It's a little hard to read. It's a photo of the actual brochure. But here we'll see what it says. It says, Srimad Bhagavatam, India's message of peace and goodwill. 60 volumes of elaborate English version. At least 3 volumes only at this point in time. 60 volumes of elaborate English version by Vedanta Goswami, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, carried by the Scindia or Scindia, how they pronounce it, Steam Navigation Company Limited, Bombay. And there's a footnote on that brochure. All over the world, carried all over the world for scientific knowledge of God. It's actually a continuation of the same thing. Carried all over the world for scientific knowledge of God. All over the world, not just America. Scientific knowledge of God. And in that brochure, Prabhupada writes, the suffering of the entire human society can at once be brought under control simply by individual practices back to yoga, a simple and easy process of chanting the holy name of God. Every country, every nation, every community throughout the world has some conception of the holy name of God, and as such either the Hindus or the Mohammedans or the Christians, everyone can easily chant the holy name of God in a meditative mood, and that will bring about the required peace and goodwill in the present problematic human society. And more now than ever before, it's always like that. Ever increasing need for the chanting of the holy name, spreading of this Sankirtan movement. And Prabhupada said, any inquiry in this connection, Prabhupada saying this brochure has comments of others in there, references. Any inquiry in this connection will be gladly answered by Sri Swamiji. The Hindus generally chant the holy name of God in 16 chain of transcendental sounds composed of 32 alphabets as Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The Vedic literatures like the Upanishads and the Puranas do recommend chanting of the above-mentioned 16 holy names at a stretch, and Lord Sri Chaitanya, who preached this cult of chanting the holy name of God, gave special importance on these transcendental sounds. In this age of Kali, or the age of hate, hypocrisy, corruption and quarrel, the only remedial measure is that every man should chant the holy name of the Lord, both individually and collectively. The glories of the holy name have been described by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his 8 verses of Shastakam, which run as follows. In that brochure, I'm not going to read it, but Prabhupada included the Shastakam prayers. Very fundamental, foundational prayers in our Krishna consciousness life. And we recite them here every morning, and of course after Mangalarti. Very, very important prayers. It's spoken by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, recorded. and are here with us today in order to help to guide us on our path back to Godhead, or to fulfill the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Shastra conspires. You will have access to those. And the brochure goes on. Chanting of the holy name of God is recommended for everyone, both for the mass of people and the class of people. Those who are scholars, philosophers, scientists, religious and educated may read the English version of Srimad Bhagavatam by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami with particular attention to the purpose appended with each and every verse. It sounds like another personality writing this particular brochure, no doubt guided by Sri Prabhupada. Maybe Mr. Chokshi put it together. It says he went and made the brochure. What that means, I don't know. They have appreciated the publications as follows. This is referring to scholars. Sri Prabhupada very much liked it when scholars or significant persons made comment on his books. This is one of the things that brought great pleasure to Prabhupada. When he heard from some scholar or somebody some praise or some recognition of the books, but Prabhupada said they're Krishna's books, not his. So Krishna wrote these books. But Prabhupada was very happy when people appreciate the books written by Krishna. At a time when not only the people of India, but those of the West need the chastening quality of love and truth, in a corrupting atmosphere of hate and hypocrisy, a work like this will have uplifting and corrective influence. What is God? He is truth. He is love. Even an atheist must accept the supremacy of those qualities and how much they are needed by the people of the world who have been taught to deny God and those qualities. Do not require to deny God and His qualities do not require much emphasis, and His qualities do not require much emphasis. People are taught you don't need to hear about God and His qualities and so on. It's not important, but it is important. Most important thing as we're hearing this morning. The author has attempted a tremendous task. A perusal will give us in the sample measure a knowledge of the original. One time when Shivaram Swami wrote this Vyasa Puja, maybe in the 90s, I don't know, a long time ago, he referred to an incident which took place during the time when some of you may remember, the Bhaktivedanta Manor. There was a big campaign. Some people were trying to stop the worship of Bhaktivedanta Manor for various reasons. And it became a big issue. It went to the Parliament House, in House of the Parliament, discussed by the members of Parliament. It went to the Queen of England. She also heard about this case. And her counsel, the person who represents her in Parliament, very important man, and his word means a lot, speaking on behalf of the Queen. And Shivanand Swami went to see him with maybe some other devotees, and they approached him. And the man looked at them and said, "You do not know what an amazing thing, an incredible thing your spiritual master has done." Queen's counsel said to him. Of course, the man was very old, way in his 70s. Shivanand Maharaj was probably in his 40s. So you don't know what an amazing thing your spiritual master has done. What a thing to say to a disciple, sannyasi, BBC member, saying you don't know what he's done. How do you know what he's done? I mean, drinking liquor, smoking cigarettes, eating meat, you've never seen him, not chanting Hare Krishna. What are you talking about? But he didn't say that, obviously. That would have defeated the whole purpose. It was a test. So he's an Indian way. Yes, no. And he repeated, you don't know what an amazing thing your spiritual master has done. And Shiva Maharaj didn't really know what to say. It's very difficult. What are you supposed to say? I do or I don't or what? If you say I do, then you're in an argument. If you say I don't, then you're making it look like a fool. Interesting one. And then the man said, I'll tell you why you don't understand. He said, because you're a young man. I said, I am old. I know what's that. He said, at that age, he said, I've read the book. He read Your Ever Welsh. He said, at that age, nobody could do what he did. It's impossible. He could recognize that. that age alone, going to America with no money, no contact practically, no friends, no support, only Krishna's Guru Maharaj's instructions, alone to stay armed with yoga. He went alone to the battlefield. We have no doubt that with the publication of these volumes, the rightful interpretations of the Bhagavatam, which has been the gift of Sri Chaitanya and his Goswami followers, has now been available to the English-knowing world for the first time. The elaborate method is very helpful to the ardent student of Bhagavatam who lacks in Sanskrit knowledge. It is admitted in all hands that Bhagavatam is the most difficult text among the Puranas. We heard a little bit about that this morning from Maharaja. The author richly deserves the gratitude of the devotees for his pious, learned labor of love. These volumes speak very highly of Swamiji's scholarship and especially his love and cultural pursuits, which, when we look into the enormous labor and sacrifice in producing single-handed, and that to a ripe age of 68, before he came to the West. We earnestly pray to the Almighty that he may spare Swamiji for all the years he may require to finish the magnum opus of 60 volumes and earn the love and gratitude of his fellow men in pursuit of divine love and grace, nay, of the entire humanity. You have done a first-class work, and we desire the hearty commendations of every Indian, every Hindu. Your deep and penetrating study of the subject and the philosophic insights are reflected in this book. And there is a picture of the devotees in Boston on the boat which they hire. They put Jaladuta on the back. HMS Jaladuta, SS Jaladuta, whatever it is. About to embark probably on the journey around Boston Harbor, eventually to arrive at Boston. And to said in the beginning, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So today we have a chance, a little every moment we have a chance, not just today, every moment, we can never repay the debt to Srila Prabhupada. At least we can endeavor to do something to bring him pleasure, to please Krishna. That's our mission. And the most pleasing thing to Krishna, words to Arjuna, one who preaches this message is most dear to me. So let us try to share that if we can this afternoon, Krishna allows, this message with others in the local city of tourists, through chanting the holy name, just reading books and whatever else we can just do. Sometimes we have prasadam, I don't know if we do today. It's always nice if we have prasadam to distribute. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So thank you all very much. Please, I hope you have a wonderful 2 more days here at New Mayapur, whatever it is. And thank you all for coming. We hope to see you again sometime at New Mayapur soon. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Prabhupada.
His Holiness Janananda Maharaj.
I'm going to read the verse. The verse number of, what is this? I have the verse. Number of dead after migrant vote. That's not it. Rishi Sunak immigration policy. This is a translation of the verse which was discussed a little bit earlier. On the other hand, and Srila Goswami has already described the results of listening to mundane literature. So on the other hand, he says, that literature, which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc. of the unlimited Supreme Lord, is a different creation, full of transcendental words directed toward
bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
So read the purport if you want to know more about that. Bringing about a, no, I'm not going to read it, you can read it. So bringing about a revolution, Prabhupada, a revolution. What is a revolution? The French people don't know what a revolution is. What's a revolution? English people, you know what it is. What's a revolution?
To evolve once again.
Revolve once again?
Yeah.
Revolve again. Any other suggestions? A revolution.
Total transformation.
Pardon?
It's a total transformation.
Social transformation.
We're going in
Back to
full,
Godhead, you could say that in reality, yes.
going the full circle.
Going in a full circle, you're all right, everything's right.
Back to basics.
Father said it means to return. Back to Janananda. It means to return back to its origin.
Yeah.
To the original. So this movement is just simply to return everything back where it belongs, that's all. There's nothing new. Everything else is new. Everything else is a concoction. Everything else is a cult, sect, call it what you like. This is the only reality. To bring everything back to its relationship with Krishna. Anything that's not related to Krishna is something else. Civilization means that which is real civilization, connecting everything to Krishna for his pleasure. This is Prabhupada's mission. Connect everything to Krishna for his pleasure. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yeah, there's the original Bhagavatams are still around. There might be see one or two here, I don't know, but there's a reprint of the original one currently in the library. You can have a look at the same language Prabhupada actually wrote in his original 3 books, which he quotes from